Hi, welcome to this video. So I'm looking at what is climate change. We often hear climate change used these days everywhere, uh, uh, you know, and climate change has become a word that's increasingly being used every day now. So this is just to look at what exactly is climate change and what has been the climate change that we have had so far, and what is the difference in the climate change that we have now, and how climate is different from weather. So climate, the word climate is used for long term patterns of weather in a particular area. So we are referring climate for a long term weather pattern in a particular area. Now weather can change from hour to day to month, or even year to year. Now a region's weather patterns usually tracked for at least 30 years, and it is considered as the climate of that region. Yeah, so the climate change refers to any significant change in the measurement of climate lasting for an extended period of time. In other words, climate change includes major changes in temperature, precipitation, or wind patterns, among others, that occur over several decades or longer. Now, climate is the average of weather pattern in a specific area over a long period of time, which is of course is usually considered as 30 or more years, that represent the overall state of the climate system. Now weather is of course refers to atmospheric conditions at a particular time in a particular location, including temperature, humidity, precipitation, cloudiness, wind, and visibility. Weather conditions do not happen in isolation. They have a ripple effect. The weather in one region will eventually affect the weather hundreds or thousands of kilometers away, and this weather, calculated for a long period of time, is considered as climate. Now of course the climate of the planet has changed significantly, uh, 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 and the climate change is not something new. Of course, if we look at the history of the planets, history of earth, history of life, what we see is that there have been continuous changes in the cycle of climate on earth. Now how and why the climate change that we see is different from that is something very significant for us to understand. Now the reason why the climate change, as we call it now, is called anthropogenic climate change is because the climate change now that we witness is caused by the anthropos, or human beings in that sense, or Homo sapiens sapien. Now the human activity, specifically to say in the industrial age and particularly during the last century, is significantly altering our planet's climate through the release of harmful greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane and other CFC gases. Now of course there are different theories that talks about when did human beings significantly started to alter the climate of the planet. So of course we have different theories that talk about that. Some of them say that since we started agriculture and massive deforestation, that could be marked maybe as the beginning of this kind of massive alteration of the planet. Now one of the most accepted theory is something called as the Great Acceleration. Now the Great Acceleration thesis basically says that since 1950, around 25 both earth system as well as socio-economic systems have started to significantly change, and these changes underscore that human beings, or Homo sapiens sapien, has been uh, one of the most significant way in which we have altered the climate of the planet. So this is what, very briefly, what is weather, what is climate, and what is the anthropogenic climate change.